Karibu SolidWorks Tanzania. This is a continuation of our industrial automation series, and today we're going to look on timer-based tank level control. So tunaendelea kuangalia how we can control filling a water tank based on time. So you might be wondering how I created this, but I'll show you in a minute. So here we have a water tank station, and then here I dragged my switchboard where I've added a start push button, reset push button, and a digital display as well as a warning light. So how do I want this to work? So hapa, when you press a start push button, then the tank fill valve, which is up here, the tank fill valve will be open for the preset time. So I want to set here 5 seconds on timer, kwamba nikibonyeza start push button, tank fill valve itakuwa open for 5 seconds, then itakuwa closed. And then after it's closed, this timer display will be displaying the time elapsed, like itakuwa inaonyesha zile seconds, like 1 second, 2 second, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, and then 5 seconds. And then if I want to refill again the tank, and before that, when the tank fill valve closes after 5 seconds, then the warning light will be on, telling you or signaling you that okay, the tank has been filled for the preset time. Okay, so if you want to start again the filling, you have to press the reset push button so as to reset the timer to 0, and then you press start again ndio ianze tena kufill the tank kwa kufungua the tank fill valve for the another 5 seconds. All right. Okay, so how did I come up with this station? So simple. I think by now utakuwa umeshaelewa namna ya kutengeneza station like this on factory hiyo. So hata kwenye stations zijazo, plant zijazo na layout zijazo, nitakuwa nakuja na station ambazo they are already created, they are just waiting for a program to be wrote kwa kutumia Siemens TIA portal, ku uploaded na ku try if it's doing what's supposed to do. So you can just take a snapshot a picture of this station look-alike. So we have the station and the picture of this switchboard with the buttons and LED display and the warning light. So how I did that, so nilikuja tu hapa nikatafuta stations, nika drag drop a water station like this, and then ukiangalia hii water station ukiclick hapa, ukiright click ukienda kwenye configuration unaona it's analog. Right, so analog maana yake inakuwa na tank level meter. Unaweza ukaset unataka ku raise the water level to what level, analogy kwa kutumia potentiometer, and normalizing and scaling the input of the potentiometer. But also we have a flow control valve, a flow meter, right? Not a control valve, actually a flow meter. We have a discharge valve and the tank fill valve. That's for the analog, but the one I'm using right now nearly configure as digital. So this water station is digital. So I just have a tank fill valve and discharge valve, and I'm just going to control the tank fill valve based on time. And then nilikuja kwenye operators nika drag drop switchboard, then ukihold V on your keyboard you can move this up like that. Nika drag drop start push button, nika hold V, nika move vertically, and then nika position hapo kwenye switchboard like that. Okay, nika drag drop LED timer value display, lakini pia nili drag drop reset push button. Okay, and then nikaenda kwenye warning devices, nika drag drop this warning light like this, and then nika position on top of a switchboard. You can position it anywhere you see fit, mradi tu inaonekana is okay. Yeah, so that's what I did. So yeah, so I will just delete these ones because I don't need them, I don't use them now. All right, I was just showing you how I came up with this. Okay, so after that, now let's go to the drivers and see how I've connected my inputs and outputs. So I have two digital inputs, two digital outputs, and one analog display, analog output. So on the digital input, you make a start push button. on I 0.0, the address, and the reset push button on I 0.1. And then on the digital output, I have my tank fill valve on Q 0.0 and my warning light on Q 0.1. Those are the addresses, and one analog output which will display the time value, which I've set it on QD30 as an analog output. So after knowing that, I'm going back to my TIA port of Siemens, and here I'm still using the factory IO template that I downloaded. And then nilikwambia before kwamba if you don't want to reuse the template, open it and copy this block here, the function block, and then go to TIA portal, configure a new controller, and then paste this functional block on the main, right? Okay, so as usual, this very first block here, FC9000, is the one that connects our Siemens TIA portal with the factory IO. Now let's go to the second network where I want to latch on the memory bit. So before that, first we create our tags as I show you the two digital inputs, two digital outputs, and one analog. So I write my tags here. So the first tag here is start push button, right? So I 0.0, and then I have a reset push button, right? That's I 0.1. That's I'm done with my digital inputs. Now I'm going to digital outputs. The first one is a tank fill valve, a tank fill valve, all right, and the address here is Q 0.0 because it's a digital output. And then I have warning light, so a warning light ambao warning light yangu ni Q 0.1. But then before I go to analog, kwa sababu hapa nitakuwa na timer on delay, so I need to use the timer completed output, right, to control the closing of my tank fill valve. Kwa sababu nikiwa na timer on delay, when I start the start push button, the memory bit will be on, and then my timer will start counting 1 2 3 4 5. I want, when it's counting the seconds, the tank fill valve is filling the water tank. When it has finished the 5 seconds, it should stop the tank fill valve, it should close it, so it stop filling. So manake nitahitaji timer completed output ndio iende ika switch off the tank fill valve. So here I'll have another extra output, they call it the timer, call it timer completed output. And then now I'm going to the analog output, which is a timer display. So my timer display will be an analog output. So here, what's the data type? So if you go to factory IO, the data type of my display is real. So here I'll change the data type to real, like that, and then here I'll write my correct address QD30, where that's where we connected our analog output, which is a timer display. After having all those tags, now I come back to the main. Now I'm starting to write my program. So latching on the memory bit. So here I'll have a normal open push button switch, normal close reset push button, and then my memory bit. And then I'll latch my memory bit here like this. Okay, so this one is a start push button. This one is M0.0, which is my latched memory bit. And this one is my reset push button. And this is my M0.0. So we know this is a holding contact network. So when a start push button is pressed, this will be on, be held on, be latched. Unless a reset push button is pressed, then will be resetted. On second here, I'll then do what? On second here, I'll use my memory bit to control the timer control. So timer control, right? So on timer control here, I'll have my M0.0, my memory bit as my switch, and then on instructions, need to drag drop timer on delay here. This is my timer on delay, all right? And then I'll have an output here, which is a timer completed output. So here I'll have my M0.0, all right, preset time. So I said 5 seconds. So 5 seconds in sasa 5,000 milliseconds. So I write here 5,000 because timer huwa inakuwa setting milliseconds. So hapa kwenye elapsed time output nita preserve, nita store the value on memory bit MD30. Okay, MD30 to store the memory bit. Okay, now here I'll have my timer completed output. All right, so the timer completed output will be controlling the tank fill valve. So here I'll have a network for tank fill valve control. So on tank fill valve control, I'll come here. I'll have my this will be normally close. So a normally close timer completed, and then one normally open for the memory bit latch, and then my output here as the tank fill valve. So this one will be timer completed, and then this will be M0.0, and then this one will be controlling of the tank fill valve. So if you're capturing this, when I press that push button, memory bit will be latched on. The on bit comes here, signal on. When the signal is on, the timer start counting from 1 to 5 seconds. When it's counting, you see this will be a normally closed timer completed. Tag will be on, so the tank fill valve will be on. The moment the timer is completed, the 5 second, this will be high, active. When this is active, this will be deactivated, because now we say this is a normally closed switch. So when it is signaled, when it is activated from here, then it will be low. All right, so when it's low, the tank fill valve will stop filling. So now I want to display my timer, which is displaying seconds. So timer display, timer value display network. So here I'll have again my M0.0, but then I need a math function. Why? Because the output, so I'll drag drop a division block here, divide, all right? Because the output from here, you see the elapsed time is stored on a memory bit MD30, but this will be in milliseconds. So I have to divide it by 1,000, so I display the values in seconds. So here I'll just have a double integer data type, and then the input here will be the MD30, that is the timer value, elapsed time, and then I'll divide it with a 1,000. Okay, so this is a division block. Divided the timer value with 1,000, so the output here will be in seconds. Here will be millisecond over 1,000, this will be seconds. So here I'll write this as my display, which display is a timer display, like that. So here is again my memory bit latch signal, so M0.0, like that. Okay, so this is done, right? So this is done, and now I compile my program, compile it. So I'm looking at the errors. So with zero errors, zero warning, so my program is fine. So I'll go to online, and then I'll go to simulation. I'll say start simulation, wait on it. All right, so wait on it. Consider this as a trusted. Wait on it again. All right. So from here, say load. Taking some time. Okay, come here, say start module, then say finish. Right. So after that, we wait on it a little bit longer to complete loading. Okay, so download the program to the controller. So we download it to the device, and then here say load, and they say finish. Okay, so after that, say go online. Right, so everything should be green here. Everything is green, looks good. And then say monitor. So you see now our start push button is not pressed from factory IO, but see back here. Okay, so I think I've not added the warning light block diagram, where when the tank fill valve is off, the warning light should be on. So let me go offline first, right, and add the block diagram here. So I'll have normally close, and then an output. Then here I'll have my tank fill valve, and then here I'll have my warning lamp or warning light. Right, compile this again. Okay, download to device. Right, okay, load, and right, so now go online. Okay, everything green here, that looks good. Say monitor. Okay, so the warning light should be on now when I connect it to the factory IO, and the display value should be 0 since I haven't pressed my start push button. So the output here is 0 seconds. So come back to factory IO and minimize this and say connect. Okay, so factory IO is communicating with our Siemens TIA portal. So if I say run, you see the warning light is on because the tank fill valve is off. So I come back here, you see the timer is 0. So if I say start, so the tank fill valve is open for exactly 5 seconds and then closed. Okay, so my timer value is 5 seconds, warning light is on. Hata nikija hapa kwenye TIA portal, you see my timer is now 5 seconds, and my timer is completed and my tank fill valve is off. If I want to start filling again, I have to reset this memory bit, so that I reset my timer. So I have to press the reset push button and then say start push button again. So I'll come back here, I press reset push button, see it on TI portal. So you see everything is reset here. The memory bit is reset, and this one is also reset. So if I press start button, you will see my timer here start counting. So come back here and say start filling. All right. So you see timer is counting 3, 4, 5. Timer completed. When the timer is completed, tank fill valve off, warning light on. Right? So come back here at factory IO, say reset again, say start. So see my timer 2, 3, 4, 5. Stop filling. You see? So this is a timer based tank water tank level control. Inaweza kuwa sio water, inaweza kuwa any other liquid, right? So reset again, start again. Yes, so I hope you have captured that and you have understood this part a lot. You are doing great. Keep moving forward, and I'll see you on the next presentation. Ciao.